My name is Mira, and I'm coming from Finland, from Tampere, and especially from Pispala, which is a nice neighborhood with a lot of arts.
Okay, so am I right to call you especially a painter, and what else do you do?
Actually, I haven't been painting that much. I've done short films, animation, and photography. Camera obscura technique, that's photo technique that I use mainly. And now only for the last couple of years I've been more concentrating on painting.
Okay. And how did you decide to become an artist? Where was the beginning?
Well, it's since my childhood. I've studied arts, and also I always wanted to create something, but in our home, in my home, was kind of an atmosphere that we were not allowed to make a lot of noise. So I never could become a real musician, but then I could be quiet and then draw and do things like that.
Okay. And from this exhibition that we have here in the gallery, I can see that you're painting on different backgrounds. You're using like wood, glass. So do the background, what you're painting on, is important for you?
No, actually it is very important. I like to do experiments on different materials. That's how it keeps on being interesting, the process itself. But most of the materials there, I find them from somewhere, from garbage. And then I start testing if I can create something interesting from like useless piece of material, which is useless for somebody else, but for me it's an experiment. So it is important.
So tell me more about how do you create the stories that you tell in your works?
Well, like like this exhibition is actually I wish to publish a children's book, and the process started that I spent a long time in summer cottage, and I was collecting mushrooms and during the day, and then in the evening I spent my time with painting, and then the things that I had seen during the day in the forest kind of came to the paintings. And then after I had painted like maybe 10 pictures, I started to notice that actually I'm creating some type of world, a special bizarre, a little bit bizarre world, and then it became like I saw that there is a piece of story, and then I started creating by purpose more pictures for the story. So I'm not planned it from the beginning, but this story just seems to appear by itself.
And what is more important for you, is the process when you're making the art, or the result when you're finishing your works?
Oh, that's difficult to say. I think both of them are kind of important. But of course the result is what is shown to the public, and I see it important to give some type of a message to the audience.
So speaking about public, what does the public mean to you? Do you just paint, or you think about the people and what it will give to them?
I always think about the public. I do. It's with all type of art what I do, with the films and with the performances and everything. It's communication. My art is communication, and I find it important, since I'm not very good on writing or other forms of giving my thoughts into publicity. So then I do it with images and actions in other ways. It is important, yeah.
So you're interested in the dialogue with the people who...
I'm interested in dialogue with people, yeah. I think art is a way of performing philosophy. That it is communicating with the society, with the people in one way. Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing in art for me.
Is it always important for you to get the feedback from...
Yeah, it is rather important, and it's kind of. I also have a background on green politics and green movement. And on one point I found it very difficult to say something very clearly like a slogan that I think like this and this is the correct way of thinking. So then it became more important to show things in a more open way, in a way of arts, that I would wish that I could create a feeling or an idea on my audience, that they would start thinking something themselves. And that's like, that it's interactive in that sense. It's not only that I'm showing something and saying this is, you should think like that, but no, more like the process of creation is also continuing in the audience, in their minds and in their feelings.
Okay, and the last question. It's really nice to have you here in Lithuania. So, is it the first time you have visited Lithuania? And what impression has our country left to you?
Well, actually I came here first time, I think I was 14 or 15. I was hitchhiking with a friend, and we were going around Baltic states, and then we ended up here in Vilnius, and actually this was our favorite place. And that's almost 20 years ago. and after that I've been coming back, and I still have some friends from that time, from 20 years ago, and they've actually visited this exhibition as well. And I do like the mentality. Sometimes this Lithuanian mentality is a little bit strange. There is something special about it. I cannot say what. But also nowadays I speak Russian, so it's more easier to communicate with different people, since it's I'm somehow involved in what's going on. Even though Lithuanian language I speak basically labas, sveiki. Yeah, that's all.
So, is it strange in a good way or in a bad way?
I think it's impossible to say good or bad. It's just something interesting. There is something different that I haven't seen. I traveled a lot, but there is something mystic of Lithuanian mentality. Of course, it's good in a way that it makes me wonder, like, oh, we're all these weird people, are always somehow different, which is a perfect thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, and I hope that this exhibition won't be the last one that we can have here.
No, I hope so too. Actually, it's my third exhibition that I have in this gallery. But the earlier exhibitions have been with a bigger group from Finland. So now it's the first time that I'm actually having this room just for myself. I like it a lot. Thank you
Okay,
for the
thank
possibility.
you.